What was that?
I'm practicing.
It's this.
Hi guys.
Whoa.
Yo.
Yo, what up?
Am I tall?
Damn right you are.
No.
Oh.
Average sized.
Dude, that's like the best perk. I swear.
It's so good, yeah. We're gonna win this game now.
Are we
Yeah,
like
sure,
done
yeah.
playing around? Okay.
We totally got this.
Well, let me just beat this body up.
I like this game's actually fairly tough though.
Yeah, it is.
Better.
This is the standard difficulty. There is harder
We're
ones.
actually
Oh,
going
really?
full send. No tomfoolery,
Oh damn.
right?
Okay.
Yeah, no
Yeah,
tomfoolery.
Yeah.
Alright,
Let's win.
All right.
By the way, Ella is gifting 5 subs for every time he dies. So
No, I didn't decide to do that.
Hey, what happened to floor 20?
Oh yeah.
Do any of us?
It's okay.
Do any of us have a run
I mean,
going?
it's fine. Whatever.
Do any of it what?
Do any of us have a run going in DS1? Or are we all fucking dead?
No, I have one. But like, I mean, I'm like 3 bosses in.
Oh, okay.
No.
I don't want to talk about it.
I had another rat incident today as well. Dude.
The bone wheel incident at the start of my stream. Okay, almost killed me.
Oh,
The
joints.
bone wheel
Get your
incident.
joints.
Oh yo, there's a gym here.
Oh shit.
Oh shit. Let's go. Yeah, I was walking up to Undeadburg and there was a dragon butt. It walked off the little ledge and then as I was a rat pushed me off the edge into the dragon butt, which then hit me. The rat then hit me after it flew off the fucking ramp, and then I killed my dragon butt.
Leppa?
Sounds like skill issue.
I'm good.
I couldn't fucking. I'll have to show it later. It's fucked up. Oh, these balls do damage. Wait, guys.
What up? Oh, it's Gamba machine? I'm feeling lucky. Except like...
You don't have enough.
No, I don't.
How many do you have?
2.
Here, take one.
Yeah. Wait, I'm gonna gamba. Oh, repair kit.
Alright. Worth it, I guess.
I got a fire essence. I don't know what that does.
Oh, a
You
grenade.
use it. You can buff weapon with it, I think.
Oh. By the way, the basketballs from the gym do damage to enemies.
Basketball.
Yeah. Hello.
Watch out for... Okay.
Oh my god.
Hi.
Somebody probably already went this way. Oh, it's locked.
Oh,
Door's
Jesus
locked.
fuck.
What?
It's all over now. Door's locked.
I threw the basketball at the door and it just flew through it. Valid?
Apparently, I can drink gasoline to heal myself. Oh yeah, I can.
Damn.
There was a My Strange Addiction episode on that.
Oh, we're going. Let's get out of here.
Does anyone
I'm
have
stopping next
double
floor.
bottles?
I have 3 bottles.
I mean like the perk.
Oh, the perk.
Yeah.
Oh. Oh, what's this? Oh, never mind. I thought it looked different.
This ball is terrible. There's fucking flies, man.
Oh, a wrench. A wrench does 69 damage.
And I feel like my game is kind of choppy for some reason. It wasn't like this yesterday. the... Why is it so laggy? Oh, what is this?
Oh, what is this? Oh, shit.
You want my flesh?
Yeah, sure. Thanks. Man, is it jail?
Yeah, this is like so different than what yesterday. These like
there was
levels
an
we're getting.
update to the game. Oh, there's you can climb
So wait,
down here.
today?
Yeah, there was an update on the game today.
Oh. Maybe that's why it's lagging now. Yeah, it does not feel great right now. Let's see. Video. Maybe I'll just go full screen. What the fuck? Oh, there we go. Well, let's see if this feels any better.
I took an L.
No, it's still choppy. The fuck? I'm getting like a little bit of choppiness in the game for some reason. I don't know.
I
it's like
also
the
had
new
that, and then
update.
I opened the Steam overlay, and I closed it, and it fixed it.
Oh, okay. What is going on with my Steam overlay? Does not seem to be working for me. I mean, it's okay. It's running okay enough. Not amazing. Oh, we found a few bottles.
Oh yeah, I need to check. I haven't checked if they're alive or not. Everyone's alive.
Yeah. Why is the game lagging?
Oh my. No. Me and this found like this big frozen soap.
Yeah, I found a soap weapon in
What
the
the
bathroom.
hell? Oh.
In the showers.
This place needs explosives. Did you find any?
No.
There was a grenade.
Uh,
Oh, really? There's a cool room here.
Yeah, me and this also found like this frozen door.
Oh. Well, like, everything in there's lockpickable, so I don't think it'd be useful anyway unless we had one.
Yeah.
True.
Kind of fucked up that it's here on the second floor.
I'm leaving.
Yeah, I think it was third floor.
Damn.
There's a what?
Shut up.
Man, why is the game lagging though? This is...
You can knock stuff
Did
into
you just?
them.
Why do
many
you
damage
slip
did you take?
sometimes?
I don't know. I'm silly.
He's a little guy.
Oh, another ball. Okay.
Fine.
Maybe I should just turn off the Steam overlay.
Another gym.
Are you able to rejoin?
Oh, what the
I
fuck?
might need to like
smoke
reboot.
guy.
Run!
Will he blow
Why are
up
you so much
eventually?
faster than me? What the fuck?
I'm better than you.
Oh, he goes
No.
for the ball. Oh, never mind. Or I don't know.
Is your inventory full, Ella?
No, I have 1 gasoline. Now I have nothing.
It's coming.
Hang on, I'll clap his cheeks.
Yeah, clap it with your soap. Okay. Is he cooking?
I don't know, he ran off. Go ahead.
I'm just gonna run past them.
I got him.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
We can't really do much here.
Oh, yeah, what the fuck?
We can make a sick dunk.
You can
Do
climb
it.
these. That's cool.
Oh, huh.
Break the vent.
That would've
Yeah, I
been cool, but
tried,
don't
it
think
didn't
so,
work.
no. Tiny ass room? Huh.
Yeah, I guess let's just get out of here. I might try to reboot my game without the Steam overlay. Just like choppiness is kind of driving me crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
I'll
don't-
just re-invite you.
Okay. I guess I can join whenever. I don't know.
Guess so.
I'll just leave and we'll see. I guess. All right, one sec, chat. I'm gonna reboot the game, and I'm gonna turn off Steam overlay if for some reason that's causing the issue. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really know what's going on. You guys can see it, right? Like the choppiness, or am I just like fucking crazy? I don't know.
Oh, it works. You can just rejoin, yeah.
Nice.
We'll go back.
Well, we're done with this floor, so let's go.
I turned off my Steam overlay. I think it fixed it. Hopefully,
Yeah?
feels better now.
We need to get some upgrades for the scanner. Oh!
Stuff.
Yeah.
I like stuff.
Ooh, a rake.
Very good.
How's this game for duos? I don't know. I haven't tried duos
Shuffle
yet.
that up real quick.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I guess, yeah.
Bottle?
Bottle?
We must be sitting on a decent amount of butter. I have 7. Wait, is that... Is KLETKA
Got
pissed?
hungry?
I don't know. I just upgraded the scanner. Found a gear.
I'm not really hungry now.
We're not seeing... Do you know if it's hungry or not?
When you hold it, when you're about to give it food, you can see the meter.
Ah.
Or just, you know, it's kind of inconvenient. You have to have food in order to know if it's hungry.
Yeah, you do.
Watch out for the mine.
Room. I believe this lets you see... You can, like, see items through walls. Anything I could buy? Medkit? What's going on over there? Oh, it's another one of these rooms. Oh, so much food. I be able to see them, see the items through the, probably through the lockers, right? What the? Okay, that is really strange. Oh my god, there's so much food here.
Did he run into the mine? Classic salad.
There's
Classic. Yo, that flamethrower guy here.
Yeah, there's another one.
We can fuck him up if we just like punch him. Nice.
Oh,
Flamethrower?
a flamethrower too.
Yeah, salad destroyed the other one by running into a mine.
There's like a ton of heals over in this cafeteria, by the way.
Yeah? I can just eat salad's meat to heal.
Oh. Okay. Oh, wait, can you, you have the flamethrower on you? There was an icy door. Maybe we can go melt it?
Yeah, let's try it. No ammo.
Oh. Well, if you have space, there's a bunch of items in the fridge, or if you need to heal at all.
I'm sitting at 76 health.
Wasn't there one more gruel here?
We gotta heal salad.
Yeah, true.
We definitely have enough.
Oh, the gruel stacks.
There's a gear here. We could get an upgrade.
Yeah.
It's cost 16.
I only got 2.
I have 10.
Did these items stay on the ground, I wonder? Alright, well. KLETKA?
I think worms are coming.
Yo.
Hey,
Salad's dead.
slightly. Yeah, I saw. Megaphone. Bag. Not feeling lucky. How many do you need?
20. I have 14.
Where's the...
Oh, it's by the KLETKA elevator. Over here.
Oh, okay.
Oh, we're finding a lot of food. What is this, like, what is this, a coffee? Prison tea concentrate. Kicks your brain into overdrive. Oh. Ooh, Giga Wrench. Oh, salad?
Hey.
Hey, buddy. You need heals?
Oh,
No.
There's heals. Yeah, in here. Wait, what? Come here. Salad.
There's
Guys,
a second floor, by the way.
Oh? Oh, yeah, yeah. If you go
there's a
down
floor
the...
beneath us.
Yeah.
My perk showed me it.
All right, we got Max.
There's 2
Yeah, we're
upgrades
waiting for
left
you
on
guys. Yeah.
on the level.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, we could try to go downstairs.
We could with the worms.
Yeah. Wait, where'd salad go?
behind this wall. Oops, fucking hell.
Maybe we just go.
There's a flamethrower behind a wall in one of those rooms, like the thin walls.
Oh, yeah.
And we'd probably break ourselves trying to break it.
I think the Giga Wrench could probably break it.
Right.
We've got 2 of them, we could try, I guess.
I mean, I'm down to try. Maybe we
Let's
get the
do it.
flamethrower and then we try to do the icy room.
Could do. I'm pretty sure it's a flamethrower. It was in my, like, see-through thing.
Oh
it's
shit, you
really
guys
dead.
can break. Yeah, it is. Oh, we're finally gonna see this. Well, I have a leg. I have a leg.
It.
Ooh.
What?
Random
I can't get through it!
Yeah, it didn't
Only the
break
host
for-
could get
oh,
through.
Oh, wait,
there we
it's
go.
just
There we
a weird.
Oh, it's a nail gun. Damn.
Oh, you can
lose
change
30
your
health.
buff.
Yeah, you can change your per.
Oh.
I'm at 1 HP.
Well, there's heals. Here, Lepa, I got one of these things. Drink this. It'll make you feel better.
Oh, thank you. No.
Is this worth it?
The hell is this?
Oh, only one person can use it.
Oh. Well, I got a nail gun. It seems like it has a shit ton of ammo.
That's nice.
Just drink it, Lepa.
Completely drink it?
Yeah.
On in there.
Oh, did you already have a sip?
What's going on?
Yeah, I did. Nothing's happening.
I don't know. I have no idea what it does.
So it was you and God, you wanna try the
I
second
see.
floor?
Oh, that's
You're my
nice.
test subject.
Yeah. Oh, try this out, guys.
We're leaving, God, you wanna try the second floor?
I don't know. Wait, where'd Ella go? Did you go to the second floor?
Wow, that was
Second
so.
Oh.
Oh, it does! It does!
Yeah, it works.
Oh! Well, there you go.
Med kit over here.
Oh, I actually can.
Rounds. Oh,
There's
pistol
cameras
ammo.
here.
Oh.
Oh yeah. Wait, we can see outside. Kinda.
Ooh. Okay, that's definitely just a picture of a jail.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, that's the skybox.
But my immersion tells me it's outside.
I don't know what that's like.
Yeah.
What is the staircase?
All right, I'm gonna go down this ladder real quick. The fuck is that? Oh, that's a dead guy.
Team?
It's
If I get 2 more bottles, I can buy an upgrade. For KLETKA.
Fuck.
Do you have a bottle or just one bottle?
I'm going down to the second floor. Oh, hello.
There's. I don't think there's anything else.
Couple things in here. Oh, I thought the floor would be bigger.
Oh, there's a cassette up here.
Oh, really?
What does 0 extra mean?
Yeah.
Everything's going crazy.
Yeah, it's in here. Do you have space?
No.
Do you have missing health?
Yeah.
Yeah, like, but it says an O before it.
I always have missing health disc.
All right, I'm going back. The inventory is so limited. Well, you can get upgrades
I was
for
on
your
top of the
inventory
Yeah.
expansion.
We good here?
Yeah,
I think so.
wasting time if we want to speed run this.
We got full. Oh shit, we can't go to this next floor. We have full upgrades, I think. I can upgrade more.
Oh, really? You've already upgraded the whole thing? Damn.
Yeah,
Why
pretty
does
much.
Salad have our only gun?
What's that gonna mean?
Nice.
What's that mean? What's that supposed to mean?
Do these drop bottles even if
think
you
you know what
don't
it means.
see the bottles?
Yeah, it means I'm the best one here with guns.
Maybe best at destroying them.
Oh god,
Kind of mean, actually. I guess, yeah. Okay.
Okay, floor 10, I mean.
Floor 11, 10.
Boom.
Gotta watch what you're...
let me shake my booty.
Oh, what is this?
Lethal Company Mansion.
Drew. And Drew.
Mine. Watch out for the mine.
I miss Lethal Company, chat. Lethal Company was so good. That game was just so, like... so scary. Oh god, what the fuck? Is that you?
What did... Gruel?
That's all mine.
What was that?
Hmm?
Did anyone hear that bird noise?
Bird. I didn't hear anything.
It was weird. Okay, well, it was... Oh, maybe it was a leopard.
Oh, it's still available. I'm just saying... it's a lot of fun when it was new. Oh, what the fuck?
Oh, fuck! He's behind you, run! He's got an insane rifle, I have enough. Let's see it.
Oh god.
Oh my god!
Oh!
This? Fuck! What the? This?
Yeah, I'm hiding in the closet.
You're okay?
Hello?
Help! Yeah, they're throwing bombs or some shit too. Oh, he's here! He's here! Yeah, punch the shit out of him! Come on! Let's go! Kill him!
I'm too afraid.
No, kill him! I have 30 health! Kill him! 18!
I have 5 health.
I have 13. Oh god, I'm Warden.
Oh,
His name
somebody
is
get it.
Warden.
Nice.
Kalak.
I have a Kavalak.
Oh, there's 2 more guys with guns, by the way.
Yeah, I got no ammo for this.
Oh, drop it. Can you drop it?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Thank you.
There's never anything in these fucking lockers.
Shit.
No, no, I have 8 health. There's another one coming. He's blocking the elevator.
Yeah.
Can't see shit.
Inky pinky bonky. This for the donkey. Donkey die. This cry. Inky pinky bonky.
Donkey die.
Warden?
Is there one?
Yeah, there is. Wait, why are you shining pink for me?
Oh. Oh, the fucking bugs. Wonder if Salad's okay.
Yeah, there's a... Oh!
Get out of my way!
Oh, he's coming!
He's low HP, guys.
I'm at 5.
He's blocking the way. Oh, he's coming! He's coming! Wait, is there 2 of them? No. I'm out. Fuck this. I'm out. I'm out. I'm out. I am so out. Get me back to the elevator.
Dude! What the fuck? I
You're
hit the
right.
cone onto the mine and it killed me! No way, dude!
Oh, I'm out. Oh no, save me. I'm the big streamer.
Are you two also dead?
Dude,
Well, this stepped on a mine.
I hit a cone and it...
Spray?
If it's any consolation, that guy's low
Well,
HP.
what's this?
Because
I figured you
I shot
you
him
had
a
fought it.
bunch. Yeah, I shot him a bunch with the gun.
Oh,
It
it's
broke, and then he threw a
back.
grenade at my head.
Oh shit.
Dude, I touched a traffic cone and it flew into the mine and set it
Oh,
off.
I just saw a mine at you and it blew up.
Distortion. Ay.
Yeah, we might be
Yeah.
Oh my
fucked.
god, no. Why?
This game's fucking hard, man.
It is, yeah.
Dude, these missions have
Look
been
at him.
fucked.
These fucking things. What the hell? Bullshit. Get him, rat! You know what? I'm gonna grab you again. Come here, buddy. You're gonna be food. Wait a minute, there's health kits? Oh! Oh!
I don't think it's gonna do
I
much
guess
good.
I'm alone.
Oh, he's forgetting to stop the elevator.
Did he just miss
Yep.
the shop?
He's forgetting to stop the elevator.
Just you and me, buddy.
First, just forgotten how to play the game. I don't know.
Oh my.
Stop.
Through like 7 floors.
Yeah. This is a fine floor, though, I think. Right? Or? No, maybe not.
Look, you're friends now. Yay!
At least there's bottles, I guess.
Yeah, it's a good amount. Oh, there's a revive there.
So it's 21 bottles to revive salad.
Why is he making it sound like that's not a good trade?
I mean...
It is probably better to wait for like a yellow one though.
Well,
Maybe
Yeah.
not. I don't know. It's hard because having an extra person
Fine.
helps too.
Hey,
You know,
buddy. Mine! Why does KLETKA do that? Does he not like
By
rats?
the way.
What?
For the record, that guy was low HP because I fucking murdered. I did all the damage to him.
Right, of course you did. Then you found a mine, right?
No, he fucking threw a grenade at me.
Oh.
Killed my ass.
So, is that everything? Do we...
I think so.
Okay.
I think that was everything.
Alright.
We'll not forget the elevator this time, yeah?
What's that mean? Oh yeah, you mean this. Right.
Because you went down fucking boards.
You? You don't have to stop at every floor. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay, see here? This right
I'm not
here.
looking,
This
I'm
is a
not
mine.
looking, I'm not looking.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know what a mine is.
Mm-hmm. Do you have any bottles? We need 18 to get this.
I have one.
Okay, get more. Watch out for the mine. Oh my god. You are not salad. You are not the demented salad. Ow. Dick. Shit. I'm gonna punch you. Yeah,
looking
I don't know,
good.
have you? I
Yeah.
found you.
Can we upgrade
You
more
found
when we
it.
have all those like upgrades in the elevator?
Oh.
I mean, I think it's just the fuel, the speed, and then the scanner.
Oh, dude, he's gonna step on that mine. Yeah,
Bastard.
Oh
Inmate.
my god.
He had a shank.
Salad is like
Yeah, he fucking
magnetic.
hurt
Dude, he was so close.
He kind of did. Oh, grab more bottles right here. Salado. You take all the bottles, okay?
Oh, you can upgrade, like, okay, those parts too.
Got 3.
Oh, there's one here.
Almost. Joey, there's only 13 more.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Ooh, another nail gun. Ooh, piece of candy.
I'm gonna leave these here. Oh, you can.
18. Oh dear God. We'll have the lads soon.
So apparently this key gives me luck. Don't suppose that would help with, you know, gambling?
Oh, maybe.
So you take like 10 sips and then you just gamble?
Could do. I nearly walked into that mine.
Maybe you could get massive
Oh,
bottles
another one.
if you stack
The
luck.
effect stacks. Could be like, you know?
Could do, could do. Oh, lockpick area. I still need another 9.
I don't know.
I think
When do
this
I
floor's
res?
empty.
They
What
need to get
the
enough
fuck?
money. Which, you need bottles in this
Yeah,
game.
yeah.
These like red vending machines that say live beer on them will resurrect you. There's a yellow one that resurrects your whole teammate, but or your whole team, sorry. But
I think this floor's empty.
I guess
don't
it's,
think
like,
there's anything
random.
else. Jesus.
I'm making the world's a safe space for salads.
There we go, I guess.
Oh yeah.
Oh, the fucking elevator.
I keep forgetting.
Oh.
I'm just waiting for this. Oh my god, what is it? Oh, this is GNOME! This is GNOME game!
Gnome game.
Yeah, this is Berglund Gnomes.
Really?
We are very small, Salad.
No.
You can hear me, but I cannot hear you.
I want to come
I'll
back
shout
to
even
live
louder.
chat.
This is a one-way conversation.
I don't want to be a viewer.
No.
You poopy head, you.
I want to be a player.
A bottle?
Oh, there's a bottle over there.
I think. It was a.
What? That's it. I was just trying to look at, oh shit, flush!
How'd I die? Yeah, I threw a cone onto a mine, and it blew up and destroyed me. I'm pinging the bottle. Singular bottle.
Son? How can you tell what the animals do? I have a buddy. What do you do? Yeah, what does he do?
Can't see
Yeah,
anywhere.
if you go on your journal, it's just tell you.
Oh, Yoda.
Yeah, the
What?
journal.
What's up, Skinky?
Have to read now? What is this? Oh, I guess it's Comrades. It's Drunkleton. Oh, this is the one that picks up. It's the one that picks up bottles, I think. Watch out for the warden, by the way. This is warden territory. Varden.
Oh my
Did
god.
Salad just fucking
Salad?
blow? Did he just?
Yep.
Speak to me.
He's
Oh,
still
don't
alive.
speak to me. Ever.
Mark every single.
I need like a
This
guide dog or
guy.
something. I just can't see them.
You have to look where you're going, man.
I I was just looking at the live beer. Oh my god. This, you're not getting revived, man. I don't know.
What's gonna... Oh shit! I gotta try my thing out because I found a gamba machine. I just need bottles. There's literally no bottles anywhere. This place sucks. Game sucks. I have 0 bottles. What? Oh my god, this game sucks.
I feel like the strat.
And we need 18 for this. Can't we just... Nice.
Oh no, we gotta get out. We gotta go. We gotta go.
But I didn't have time to gamble.
It doesn't matter. We gotta go.
He
Salad?
Oh my!
Is joking?
Is it gonna stop it?
Oh
I think
my!
you just missed the shot. Oh my god, dude.
Bro, I went
Salad.
the wrong way for 1 second.
Salad, you said we gotta go. Why didn't you?
That doesn't mean just leaving out looking. Oh, there's no
We're
way
so
that I'm getting
doomed.
blamed for that. There's no way.
This is my team.
I don't like this.
This is my team.
Why am I playing solo?
Because you fucking left me.
Yeah.
Bro, never team up with Leper in an apocalypse. Jesus Christ.
Please.
It's so over.
Please.
Yeah.
Am I bottle blind? What is this?
He's gonna step on that mine, I
this
swear.
right here, Salad, this is
Oh.
a mine.
Never mind.
You,
Oh,
He doesn't get to make fun of me.
can't see. Can't see.
Bro, didn't even look back.
Shit.
he just went for that liver, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, this is bad. This is real bad. This is real bad, my boy. Real,
Wait, his-
real bad.
His little creature is hurting the thing.
I feel like it's best just to go like spam
Suck.
floors when people are dead. Because a lot of the time you'll find bottles just like right at the entrance.
Yeah, it's true. Or those like bottle rooms.
Yeah.
Please.
Oh, my gun's gone.
For the love of
God.
Oh, but. So, Salad had all our bottles, right? Great. Fun. Okay, I'm dead.
He's acting
Okay, I'm
like
dead.
it's my fault I'm dead.
You know what? I'm just gonna ignore this. Like my nightmares. Dreams. Stop. Get some shit. What's happening to me? Salad, is that you? Oh no, it's Akurotid. I don't know what that is.
Oh my god, I'm fighting each other.
What is going on?
Oh my god.
Momentum.
Jesus
It's
Christ.
like a fucking episode of Lethal Company.
Yeah, it is. Oh, is that a gun? Yeah.
Oh my god.
Nice. Good shit.
Oh, is it the Luger? That thing that's a so good weapon.
Salad?
Oh,
I have more tea now. Guys, there is 0 bottles. I have 5.
yeah. Yeah.
Also, there's something wrong with my vision. It's almost like it's not smart to stick
Ladless.
yourself with random needles you find on the ground.
Lepoles.
I don't know what's up with that, but...
There's 5 bottles in the corner there.
And I Critical Atlas. Oh,
Is golden bottles 5?
8.
Yeah.
Ella? Ella, no. Ella. No, Ella.
Oh,
Ella?
Ella, you
Ella,
have the
listen.
black
Ella,
one.
Ella, Ella, Ella. Eluli.
This music is kind of
This?
stressful.
Hey.
Oh shit!
Damn.
Yeah, you don't wanna mess with this.
Oh, is that a rifle? What is that?
Oh, it's the fucking thingy.
So many.
Oh, but it's
footsteps everywhere.
enchanted,
Man,
I
I wish my
guess.
friends were here
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
experience this with me. Oh! Oh!
Oh.
Cool.
You guys throwing me a party? Well, that's nice. You know, if you slit someone's throat, blood doesn't exactly gush upward. Well, it's whatever. Oh! Oh, damn! Oh! God damn, that feels good.
Oh my god.
Yes. Oh.
We're never coming back
Come on now,
alive.
dude.
Game should have
I
a
don't think
shorter
so
like,
either.
battle
This
time.
right here.
I mean,
I think me and this have been dead for like.
it.
I don't know how
it's-
many floors.
It doesn't
Yeah.
have to be this
But to be
bad.
fair, half of those he just skipped.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Oh, worm. Fun.
Is he wearing a dog collar?
Still not
Yeah.
enough models.
Yeah,
It's,
he
I think it's definitely like a knowledge issue because I think
Damn, that weapon's good, dude.
I think you can just spam. Like, you can just spam floors over and over again and just check, like, you don't have to loot fucking every single item on every single floor. I think,
Oh, crowbar. I gotta go back to this stuff. I gotta go back to this stuff. Came from here, right? Whoa. 762.
I'm in standby hell for 20 minutes already. Yeah, I know. Me and Ella both have.
Full tank of gas. Holy shit. It's crazy. Okay, rope. Rope.
On the bright side, at least you only need to give 5 subs.
This in here. This needs repairing. I think I can still no bullet for this. Okay.
Every 5 floors you get 1 revive. Yeah, I
Hold
don't.
on to these, just
The
in
thing
case
is, there
find
are
a gamba.
mecha. Oh god, Lepa.
Might have to feed KLETKA too.
I feel like he
Again,
just.
my vision
just need-
blurry. Cannot see. Oh, what? Did I just find a cucumber? What do you do with this? Again, I
worst
can't
part
see,
is-
can't see.
We need like
Is that a
Lepa needs to get. He needs to. Oh my god, I feel like I can't.
Am I?
I can't fucking think. Can't fucking think with Lepa constantly talking. Anyways, just like it's just ruining my train of thought. There is a mechanic in this game for the entire team to revive, which I think when multiple people are dead, you should always prioritize going for that. Because even if he revives, like he's gonna spend like 20 minutes collecting all these bottles, and then he's only gonna revive 1 person. Probably. He needs to just keep going. Like he just needs to spam floors, like because there's free floors where you get bottles. Like I really don't think this needs to take 30 minutes.
Again, I can't see. Giga wrench.
He's just trying to loot everything though.
No, not even half.
Resos! My OBS, My OBS has crashed twice since we died.
Your
Really?
OBS? Oh,
Two
no.
times, yeah. 3 times today my OBS has crashed.
Wow.
I feel like if you're... Sorry, go ahead.
Sky.
I feel like if you're the last person standing, it's best to just like spam floors though, and then just look for like the yellow thing. Because if you... Oh,
He just...
thank God.
Guys. I don't know what that was. I'm sorry.
All right, going forward, I think if multiple people are dead though, or if you're like the last person standing, just try to like go, just like loot the first part of the floor and then just go to the next. Like, don't try to spend too much time like looting. Because I mean, there's a bunch of free loot rooms, right? Like, if you just keep spamming floors, eventually you'll like get enough bottles.
Also, you know, don't leave without your teammate.
That too. Yeah, that too.
Let's go. So I went.
Yeah, I said let's go. No,
Let's whoever's pulling the lever, make sure everybody's there.
Well,
unless
he was
unless
there.
it's the
It
unless
looked
it's
like
the
this.
fault.
Prison? You pulled it so early! Oh my god! My god!
Dude, I tabbed in to see what was happening. Fucking OBS just crashed as I did it.
Yep, it crashed twice during the time I was dead last round.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I know.
Have you got that 2 PC setup?
I do. But I'm on Windows 10 on that PC, so I'm gonna change it to Windows 11.
All damage in this game, I wonder. I feel like these lockers are so useless. Like, never have anything. Alright. It's okay. This run is gonna be better. Surely. What perks do I have? Movement speed. A mine, a cannon, and a gear. Well, I fucking deserve that one. Yeah, I don't want to talk about it, man. It's fine. There's probably food in there. Okay, I've got 8 bottles. Can these drop bottles? Or is it just a I don't know if they need to have bottles like in them visually. All right, are we leaving? Oh, I'm here. You guys are waiting for me, sir.
Everyone is inside the elevator.
All right,
Prepare
let's go.
as I close
I
the
will
elevator
now-
doors.
Yes, he's closing the door.
Ooh, perfect stop.
The elevator doors are.
They're opening.
That's great. I'm scanning.
I'm running. There's a mine.
So this.
Yeah.
What don't you want to talk about?
What you say?
What don't you want to talk about? I heard.
Does anyone know what the
Oh,
cucumber does?
I ran into a mine.
Oh, you
I
did?
ran into a mine.
Anyone knows what the cucumber does? Look.
I mean, you can make a salad out of it.
Lumen number.
You can activate it, it says.
I think it's a glow stick.
Oh.
I'm gonna activate it. Let's see. Oh,
Yeah, it's definitely glowy.
Green.
I tried this game solo. No, not yet. These lockers are so depressing. It's like, ah yes, let me fucking break 40 boxes and open 40 lockers to get one fucking item. Bro, there's nothing in any of this shit. It's all trash. A whip. Oh my fucking god, dude. Are they all fucking waiting for me right now? I feel like I don't know. I feel like I should just go back. I'm coming back. Hello? Oh. Guys? Oh, hey.
I upgraded the scanner.
I think these have a chance to have bottles. Like the barrels. Or the boxes, rather.
I think we've looted most things.
Yeah, for the most part.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm ready to go.
No one's
Love to get
dead.
through.
There was one of
There's
those like hidden
130
rooms,
damage.
but there's no point trying to get into it.
Yeah.
Alright, sorry.
Oh, you have a
Been
whip
waiting
too.
long?
All good.
Nah,
We're
it's all
closing the
We're
door.
closing the elevator.
I have this.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
No, my character doesn't look like me.
Oh, I got a perk. I didn't even know you could pick up like perk upgrades. Interesting. I would like to find a bag. Enemies down there. Don't really want to go that way. I'm gonna go this way instead.
Hello.
Go. You get all the loot that way?
I jumped.
We good?
Yeah. There's a
Yeah,
bunch of
there's,
enemies
there's, like-
over this way, so
Yeah.
probably
There's a shop
don't wanna
this
go
way.
that Hmm.
It has like an item unless you. It says paves the road to KLETKA at all
Ella. Oh, buddy.
Where was that mine? Was it under the trash?
I think
No,
so.
it was like slightly on the right. Yeah, maybe the trash probably was hiding.
Yeah.
I probably should have said something.
It's fine, it's fine. I got plenty of health.
High for some reason. Oh, it's because I'm heavy. That's why I can't get all the fucking. Oh.
Got him.
There's a.
You got him.
Well, that's all my ammo.
Nice.
Oh, fucking bugs.
I have a grenade. You just put them at mine?
I didn't.
Oh, I have a pistol too. Nice. Man, we're tight.
I only lost like 5 HP, so I can't.
There's a grenade here, too.
Dude, the fucking flies.
The flies will go away eventually, right? Yeah.
Should I blow sub?
Oh
My
yeah,
mine?
try the grenade. Oh yeah, you can try the mine.
I have a grenade.
Oh, I
Nice.
thought you needed to activate.
One hit. Ooh.
Giga wrench. Giga
Where's the
wrench.
grenade?
Oh, so this gives you 10% max health, but you lose half. You lose 50 HP.
I can do it. I only have 22. I'd be left with 11.
Oh yeah, that's smart.
Is it
done
is
with
it 50 per? Oh, okay. I figured it was a flat value.
There's a rake in here.
Do we have any repair stuff?
Oh, guys.
Yes.
You can disarm mines with wrenches.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
it
no,
says
you
that
got
on the
out.
tooltip.
Can you then loot the mine?
Yes, I have it.
Oh wow.
There's this handcuffs here. For them.
Do we have? I have a gun with an insane amount of ammo, but it needs some repairing. Here. I also have another gun here, so we have 2 guns.
I have.
Oh, can you repair
I don't have any
guns?
space.
You can repair them in KLETKA, yeah. If you have a
okay,
repair
okay.
box.
Oh, okay. I picked up those 2 acid essences. So maybe you could put them on those guns.
Yeah, I don't know how to do it though, but...
Oh, dude, I'm so fucked right now.
Oh, use the Flammenwerfer here. Who has the Flammenwerfer?
Oh yeah.
Or... Does it work? Well, I have grenades, we can blow it up. Yeah.
There you go.
Oh, watch out!
Oh.
Oh, shit.
Oh.
Meat!
There's
A
the
lot
food.
of meat. Oh, there's a cassette here!
I
Nice.
got it.
Oh.
Oh.
I'm going back to stash some
Oh,
stuff.
I'm freezing. Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. I'm like, no, don't die. Okay. Well, my whip is still in there, and I want to get the rest of the meat.
I took the whip.
Oh, okay, I'll just grab the meat then. Where I go? Let me place this in KLETKA, and then we can.
Are we about to get smoked out?
I don't know. I think I'm dying. I'm dead.
Oh,
I'm dead.
what the-
Help!
Oh my god.
What's going on?
Leppa's dead. He fucking got
die if you
eaten.
get
He got
cold?
eaten by the freezer.
What? Wait, what?
What?
Yeah, you know the like lamp thing that pulls you up? There's another one here.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Yeah. I got 21 bottles at least, so.
can't
Okay, I
see
have
it.
4.
I have 11.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
Wait, isn't the revive thing like right in here? There is.
Yeah, let's see. How much does it cost?
18.
Yeah, I'll do it.
Okay, nice.
I don't know if you can get like a super cheap one sometimes. Like, I
Oh,
don't know if it's worth
maybe.
thank you.
scouting or something, but.
We go in? I'm closing the doors.
Yeah, everyone's in.
I got you, Leppa.
Thank you.
Yeah, keep a lookout for a repair box to fix that gun.
Yeah,
in
yeah, I will do.
KLETKA. It'll be so nice.
What, mine? Oh, I know that. Jesus.
Oh, wait, I have the double bottle perk, I just realized.
Oh my.
I just got like a boiling in ×2.
So there's a tripwire there.
You can find new perks, by the way.
Stop.
Really?
Stop.
Oh yeah, you can.
Yeah, I found
yeah,
one.
I-
that
I've-
makes.
I've-
Leper.
I got more
What's the
range
name for
damage.
that?
Yeah, same. Bullseye, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I have the same one.
Apparently, if I
What
start
the
on you, it gives you
fuck?
a speed boost.
I
We
lost
also
2
take
health.
1 damage. Yeah.
Oh. Oh, that's unlucky.
There's a rake there if we want.
Oh yeah, I can grab that. We may as well.
Hold
Very
on,
nice.
can we get this mine? Let me grab this.
Why do people keep
Okay.
saying that my character looks like me?
Yeah.
Hooked up.
I am closing the door.
No, yes, yes, yes.
Alright, good luck, boys.
Oh, oh.
I see mines are bottles.
Bottle. Double bottles. Bottle, 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 bottle. No, it's fine.
Did you just find a mine?
Here you didn't you?
I walked on this!
Me too! I did this!
I mean, unless...
What are they doing, dude? Like 50 boxes for nothing. Yeah. Yeah. I did get some balls. What is going on over there? Wait, does this go further? Oh, it does.
No, they all rolled backwards.
Hey,
Is
the
there an
gun
enemy
is
down there?
decent. I'm gonna throw the grenade. Watch out.
I don't think it hit him. I'm pretty sure it flung off the wall again.
What the? No, oh my god.
It does look like he's climbing when he does that. It's terrifying.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a cop
I'm
downstairs.
Yeah, I'm shooting him.
This thing is fucking massive.
Yeah.
Well, he's less than half health. But now I'm out of ammo, so... I'm throwing another grenade. Oh, okay. Apparently that one insta blew up for some reason.
Yeah,
I can go
know.
grab a gas mine. Hold on.
Hello.
Why is it so scuffed? I don't think we have enough to make the whole thing. It's disappearing. I've put down too much paint. Yeah. Right, the gas mine. Oh, there's also the flamethrower.
No, but if I'm here, then just save it for me.
Is he dead?
Yeah, he's
Yes.
dead.
Okay, nice.
Alex killed him. I mean, I killed him.
I mean, I lowered him a lot, okay? I want credit.
You can't let British person have anything, can you?
Yeah.
We British people have a history of owning nothing. Come on, guys.
I got 19 bottles. Ooh, nice.
Nice.
20.
I got this trash can.
Human meat in here. I can't pick it up. I've got eyeballs in my inventory.
I'm full too.
I think the yellow ones only have bottles if you can actually see the bottles in them.
Do we have any medikits in the elevator?
There's a medkit right here. You need to buy it.
I mean, I have 20 bottles. I could buy it.
You could also
ahead.
buy a live beer. So that's 80 health, right?
How much is... Oh, yeah, that's true. There was one around here somewhere, right?
I think so. Not sure.
I swear I saw one. Did someone just step on a mine? Or am I getting...
Maybe it's back at the start.
Everything pink.
I see. I don't know why everything's pink, but
Oh yeah,
it wasn't me.
yeah. It's only 15, Ella.
Okay, yo. Nice catch. Sick.
Salad's explored it everywhere and everything's
That's
pink
not
now.
what
What
happened.
the
It wasn't even
fuck?
me. I didn't do this.
I am closing the elevator doors
Don't
now.
feed Kletka with that
Wait, we're
eyeball,
overweight,
please.
guys. We're overweight. Hold on, we gotta throw the balls out.
Overweight?
Oh, let me throw this out. Hang on. Bye, Mr. Eyeball. There we go. I upgraded the tank a little bit. Ow!
He got in the way, bro.
And then you're farting in my face.
Alright, I'm sorry, man. I got scared.
We're... Or 7. Guys, should we pick this up? I don't know.
I mean, yeah, we can pick it up.
Maybe just...
I'm
look
feeding
at
this
one
eyeball
room.
to KLETKA.
Let's just look at one room and leave.
Yeah.
I'm feeding this eyeball. Watch out, Sally could drop a mine here.
No.
Just make sure to let Ella pick up the bottles.
Suicide bomber!
I do not have any pistol ammo.
I have a
Let's-
mine, but
we can
should
just
we
go.
Leave? Let's leave.
Let's leave. Yeah, fuck it, let's leave. Alright, let's see. We can't stop on the next floor.
Might as well dance.
Are we
Okay, let-
human?
Oh wait.
Oh, nice!
Oh, no,
let
let
Ella take
Ella
him.
get them.
Yeah. Ooh.
Lilla.
Double. Easy.
Double
A
Lilla.
cassette?
I am closing the door.
No! Okay. Alright, close the door.
We are closing the door.
Floor number 10.
You do
stop
anything,
it
you
too
let
early.
up the elevator, yeah.
God.
Oh, if you stop it too early, does it do damage?
It takes
It does
damage,
go down,
yeah.
yeah.
Oh, my bad.
Wait, what is going on here? No.
No.
Leave.
I am closing the door.
Okay, next floor. Let's go.
For sure this time.
Okay, that does it. Maybe most.
Oh wait, oh no, not the fog.
Oh, Ella.
No,
Ella.
it's definitely not you. You don't
Ella.
look like this.
Oh.
It's a flamethrower guy, but I have no more ammo. I do have a hand to give him though. Oh, you piece of shit.
What's new salad?
Why is he taking no Oh, he is.
Okay, there's 5 bottles in this room over here, Ella.
Oh, come in.
There's one of these like hidden. Nearby as well. Can you not?
Yeah, if you come over here, Ella.
Come in. Yeah, coming back. Hold. There's bottles
Oh,
here?
yeah.
Ooh, I didn't get a double though.
Imagine if that was a +10.
Yeah, that would have been
Wait,
insane.
Alan, how much
Here, too.
HP do you have?
You do what?
How much HP do you have?
54.
Oh,
Another bottle here.
Coming in. Bottle? Oh, there. Nice, thanks. Okay, let's see. Cassette tape. Mine in the trash room.
Yeah, I think you can see the bottle. Oh, 2 bottles here.
Double bottle. Ooh, double 2.
Oh, bag. Nice.
Hey, sir!
Should we just head back, maybe?
I have to stand still for a minute. I can't see.
Oh, yeah. You wanna go back?
Yeah, let's go back.
Watch out for the mine.
Mine.
2 bottles here.
Nice. I'm sitting on 25 bottles right now.
Nice.
Definitely.
The
Oh shit, I'm gonna get teleported if I keep moving, I think.
Yeah, I can't wait. I can't fucking see.
It's over here.
Come to me.
Hello.
Cassette tape! Oh, banger. Have we not found a repair thing yet for that pistol?
No.
There was one match.
Oh,
where we
Lepa
had
is
so
dead.
many.
I can res
Oh,
Lepa.
he was alive just a little bit ago,
I saw a res
Right
somewhere.
next to us here.
but wait, how much
Oh,
is
yeah.
it though? I think maybe you wait.
20. Okay.
You might be able to.
We could wait.
I mean,
Yeah, we can wait till next floor.
there's so many
Wait,
of them.
what did he have on him though?
Oh,
Too
yeah,
late.
whatever.
Kind of expensive, isn't it?
Maybe this one's cheaper.
Let's check this one. There's another one here. 20.
Still.
Maybe it doesn't change? I feel like it does, but we could just go to the next floor
could've sworn
and
it
see.
did.
What the f...
I mean, you could just res
Dude,
them if you
should I
want.
res him?
You have the double bottles anyways, right? So, oh,
Whoa.
Do you guys see this?
yeah,
Just take it
everything's
easy.
dark. Slow and steady. Maybe we go to the next floor.
Res him. Or do I... Yeah, I res him.
Oh!
I'm helping.
Dude, I was so confused who it was. He was just walking into the fucking ladder.
Oh shit, you're right. Oh god, there's fucking fall damage.
I have 40 health. Who are we?
I think
Okay,
I'll
go,
go.
go. Yep, do it. Do it.
It's not working. We're overweight.
We're overweight. Throw some shit out. Throw saying.
Oh my.
Oh
I
my
have 9 health.
god, I'm at 4. Oh. Well,
Yikes.
we're all alive.
Damn it, I missed the fucking ball.
Okay, maybe this is
Okay.
like a just go next floor
Maybe we
angle.
should-
Like we just go for the safe floors and like the shop, like the Giga Revive.
Yeah, I don't see anything here.
How many bottles do you have, Ella?
18.
Okay.
I mean, God, that warning is so. Oh, there's a ton of stuff. There's a ton of stuff on the second floor as well. I can see it all.
Yeah.
I mean, we could just loot like up here at the lockers, but if that alert goes off again, we're fucked. Like we can't really risk it right now.
Oh shit. Big enemy. Wait. I'm not sure. Maybe coming in here.
So much smaller here.
Is this really you? Yeah. Did you not see the big guy in here? What? There's a big guy with a Oh, my overall health, yeah. That's 15 max health. Yeah, I'm not gonna stay here. I'm playing it safe.
Yeah, I don't like this.
Yeah.
I'm putting in this cassette.
Yeah. What the hell is a shiffy?
I don't know. I sipped it before, but it doesn't say like what it does.
Do you get like... Oh, I hear worms. Yeah, I'm
Oh,
staying
yeah,
here.
fuck that.
It's not a worm.
It's
Oh,
not?
Salad's dead. Let's go.
He's dead, yeah, go.
Double.
Overload! This is a power overload though, so... Wait, oh my god, we gotta fix our thing.
Oh yeah.
I'm fixing it.
We're good.
Oh no, we don't have any more fixie things.
There's a bunch of bottles
we'll
here.
have to
Just
find
be
more.
careful. Let's.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Double?
dismantle these.
Are you sure? Because We might need it
What?
for repairs.
Oh, okay.
We don't
I
have
won't-
any.
Yeah, I won't do that.
There's a res here.
Oh, we're at full though.
I can res salad. I'm resing him.
Okay, do it.
Dude, I fucking...
So how many is that salad? Oh, Ella?
Yeah, got it. Thank you.
Oh, the flies.
Yeah, let's ditch. Close.
Ditching.
That was such bullshit.
Floor 20, baby. Oh, shop. Right as I spend all my money. Great. But maybe we can sell mines here.
Oh yeah, we can sell stuff here.
Oh, it's not a good shop to be fair.
Yeah, it's not a good shop.
Ella, grab these.
Come in, hold. Yep.
I wonder if the bottle it
Yep.
spits out when you sell, can you get double?
I don't know. That was super
Ella, grab
lucky as
these.
well.
Come in.
There are those
Ella, grab
doubling?
this.
Yep.
There was a 5 bottle near where I died.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, you wouldn't have got it anyway because you're like kind of low.
What do we need the mushroom for?
Yeah.
It just
let's
shows
just
your
see
items
items.
after a bit.
Are we ditching? Or? No?
Top.
Yeah, I'm out. Yep.
How many you got?
I got not a single double from that.
Damn.
Okay, we're going? Yeah, we're going.
Let's go.
Floor 21!
Alright, let's leave.
Yeah.
Y'all heard that, right?
Yeah. Surely.
Going up.
We need wrenches, by the
that time because I panicked.
Without wrenches, we're fucked.
Yeah.
I feel like lockpicks are so rare. Oh, never mind. %46% chance. I wonder if it's if it's like.
It's Gretchen's that way.
Okay. Oh, so some lockers have like a higher chance to get pick locked than others. Oops. Wow. That's great.
Is that rumbling? Oh no.
Oh yeah.
Not the worms. Not the
Worms. I found nothing.
Oh, I'm fine. It's over here. Follow my voice. Come on! Someone, shit! Come in! Close it. Okay, not too bad.
Well, I found 2 gruels, so you can get some HP back.
Oh, thank you. Oh yeah, that's more than I lost, I believe. I have 85 health, so I'm not gonna use that.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh,
What the fuck?
Prisoner?
Can we break this?
Is it breakable?
Ow.
Nope.
Oh, we're continuing.
Alright.
So what does vodka do again?
Damage resistance.
Oh, okay.
He's good.
Matt, we need wrench. We need wrench. How's the gasoline
We
situation?
have one.
Oh,
Oh,
nice.
so many
Dollar
bottles.
room.
May I get a double, please?
No.
It's been a century since I got double value out of one.
Guess this
we're
is
good.
I
chance.
upgraded the I upgraded KLETKA, so it should be a little easier to fix it.
Oh,
now.
nice.
gonna...
Mine?
Well, I was gonna... Okay, never mind.
What are we gonna do?
Blow it up. I don't suppose we have to. I don't think we need to.
Got
Double!
a wrench.
Nice.
Una bottle.
I have 26 bottles, so if anyone dies, I can
Nice.
res again.
Yeah, it won't be me this time.
Alright, we're going?
Ready?
Yep.
Yep.
Let's go.
Good progress.
Yeah, our PB is like 428 or something like that. Uh-oh, there's an exclamation mark on the next floor.
Yeah, I saw
What does
that.
that mean?
Like gimmick
Oh.
biome.
Another
We're getting so many
bottle
free
place.
rooms.
Yeah.
It's nice.
Oh, so many bottles. Yes.
Excuse me.
The fuck was that?
Double! Double! I like the little sound effect you get when you get a double.
Oh, nice.
Alright, yep, go in. 3,
Yeah.
2, 1.
Think?
Hello,
Right, time
whatever
for
you
spooky
freaking
room.
do, just don't die, okay?
Yeah, I'm not gonna die. I'm playing
my
it super
God,
safe.
Yeah.
Just stand in the
Alright.
elevator, no content for you.
Yeah. Oh, it's this
Oh.
one again.
Oh, nice.
Hello. Oh, 5 bottles. Oh,
Why
okay.
did, why did you turn? Oh, okay.
Ooh. You know, I'll give it to Ella.
You did?
Actually, no, I didn't. Never mind.
Oh,
Ella,
fuck
bottle,
you.
bottle, bottle.
It did a sound effect. It didn't say, oh, double.
I got
Hey.
some for you, Ella.
No, I will let you know if
Oh.
I find bottles.
Yeah, take this. You need to stay alive. Oh, what
What
the
is this?
fuck?
Oh, I got it. I got it. I got it. Is this permanent?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh shit!
I like
Thank
doing
you.
toy still.
I have 127 health. So much. And 42 bottles.
Alright.
All right, let's go.
What in the world?
Everyone's here.
Yes.
He's getting rid of my face.
There was 2
There
upgrades
you
we
go.
missed on that floor
Oh,
for
that was a
some reason.
face? I thought that was like a Bloodborne thing.
I don't really know what it was. Oh, Blight.
I'm
What does Blight do?
Oh, this one.
Oh, right.
I get demon mommy PTSD from this. I don't know why.
I'm gonna go over by Lepa. Someone in there?
There's a trap here. 2 traps here. Where the hell did my ball go? I'll get another one. Oh, faker. Fake guy. Careful, there's traps. Loads of trap. I mean, yeah.
The fuck?
Sorry. Oh, he's coming. He's coming.
Alright, I'm going the other way. Fuck this.
Yeah, me too. Oh,
Ella?
there's a guy coming.
Yeah. Oh, handcuffs. Oh yeah, I see him. I got a shank. Let me shank his ass. Got him. There's a shank
I'll get a
here.
shank.
What'd he drop?
What's this goofy ass thing? Is it demon?
There's a bottle on the right.
It's like a chained up
Oh,
lady.
it's demon! Demon mommy.
No, it's not. It's a
Lepa.
chained up lady.
Wait, what?
She's,
Is it a
she's chained
difference?
up. Yeah.
Really? Oh shit! Go! Leave! Where's Lepa?
We can't leave.
Where's Lepa? Well,
Just
I'm not
walk around,
staying in.
walk around.
Okay. Okay.
She doesn't seem to like go for people often.
There's a bottle over here.
Wait, how much HP have you two got?
88.
I'm
Double.
at 39.
Here you go, this.
Thanks.
She seems to only walk at you, so I don't really understand.
Oh, she's coming. I don't like this. I don't like this. I don't like this. Where's Lepa?
I'm gonna go get him.
Double.
Lepa! Lepa? Lepa! The fuck? Lepa! 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 Where the fuck is he?
What?
They're being attacked by a monster. We should go.
Oh, okay.
Are you guys good? Well, I don't know where they went. They were kiting her around. I think so. I think they went this way. Guys? Ella? Salad? Hello? Oh, somebody's coming. Yo. Oh, what the fuck?
This?
I think it dropped a mine when I fed him.
Did you feed KLETKA an eyeball?
Yeah, I did.
Hello?
Yeah, I think this fed KLETKA an eyeball and mined us.
Oh.
Oh,
I think.
I see. How much
Sweet.
HP do you have
Aggressive.
now then?
I have 28 health now.
Yeah.
Thank you, thank you.
And a
I
couple
have
dudes.
53 bottles, by the way, so
Oh, very nice.
could definitely res.
Take that other one and just spam it.
Alright.
Just spam the effect, yeah. I have a mop and it's got fire damage on it.
Oh, nice.
Cool.
All right, let's. We need to rest this, but let's not do it on this floor. I don't like.
Yeah.
But yeah, that chain lady, she spits like saw blades, by the way.
Oh, really?
Lady.
Oh fuck! Wait, look at this. It just. It's. Did you see that?
These games.
Yeah. I'm tired of these stops. Okay, this. You're coming alive now.
I'm tired because I was late.
18.
Thanks,
I was
Ella.
up late watching it.
Oh,
Yeah,
damn.
I did feed
need- yeah,
feed it
57
an eyeball.
I'll try to look. There's always food in these like places over here, like in the downstairs area.
In the kitchen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you guys know the handcuff gimmick?
No.
I'm pretty sure you can handcuff people.
Like
Why would you wanna do
monsters
that?
or?
Well, I think maybe like fake players running around, because I can.
Oh.
Can I try the handcuff?
Yeah, sure.
I don't know how to use it. Oh. Oh. Wait, how do I... how do I remove it?
What are you gonna do today?
Take a wrench. Ooh, and a nail gun?
Surely there must be a way to get out of it.
Oh, there's one of
Oh,
these
I have
things in
s-
here. With the
Got a
weird
nail
bomb
gun.
Thing.
I handcuffed... So we know handcuff works. I'm pretty sure you can do it on like human
Be
enemies.
careful here. It's a tripwire.
Oh, that's what blows you up there.
Yeah. Punch that map.
Wait,
Behind it.
is that worms? Yeah,
No.
let's go. Fuck it.
We gotta go.
I'm almost here. I'm almost
Fuck,
here.
we can't wait for long. We cannot wait for... Oh my god!
What the?
Okay, we gotta...
All right, go. Just.
I don't know
go.
where he is. Go, go,
yeah.
just go, 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 go. Wait, Salad, you're out of the handcuffs.
Yeah, they escape after a while.
Okay. Well, I have 32. Oh, bottle.
Yeah, so revive, pull left off. Oh, there's a gun down here somewhere.
There is a res here. Let me see. Why is Lepa always so expensive? He's 23 bottles. I'm resing it.
Oh, the fucking dude. Couldn't you have just waited for a little while, man?
No, we would have died. It would have been over.
I have 2 upgrades.
Poor Lepa.
Ella got killed. It's fake this. Fake this. Fake this.
Oh no.
That was all our bottles.
Well, he used a good amount of resing me and you, so I don't think he had too many left.
I'm gonna punch him. Fuck. Is he visible? Did he just kill himself? What the hell happened? Oh, nice.
Well, I mean, I'll grab the bottles, I guess. Maybe I can res him? Let's see, how much does this cost? Alright, Ella? I resed him. I had just enough.
I got zapped by that damn guy.
You wanna go grab your stuff?
Yes. Yeah, let's do it.
I got all your bottles.
Oh,
Res
nice,
you.
nice. Hey,
I don't know if there was anything else.
Oh, yeah.
Or was that Salad's bottles? Wait.
Nice.
Oh, guys, Salad is fucking dead. Guys,
Oh, double.
Salad's dead. That was, I looted all of
Salad's dead?
Salad's bottles, I think. I thought it was yours.
Yeah. Perk. Wait, my punches have a chance to knock enemies out? Oh. I have 6 perks. What the fuck?
Well, I'm down to keep.
High as a kite. Holy shit. Do we have any explosives? I have a grenade.
You want to blow that up? With a,
Yeah.
I don't like the sound of that.
I think we should go back to the KLETKA.
Yeah, let's kill this body though.
Hold.
So, wait, does it always drop a mine when you feed it the eye?
No, it's a chance.
This is a chance. Okay.
Yeah.
I see.
We have so much shit here. Jesus.
All right, I'm gonna feed it. So just watch out.
Oh, they feeding an eyeball?
No, is it only the eyeball that drops it? But just a
Yeah,
chance,
it's only
Okay.
the eyeball.
Okay, grenades don't do a lot of damage to walls. Are we leaving?
Yeah.
Yeah,
think
I
we
guess
just
we're
keep
leaving.
going.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, I'm pulling.
I mean, we got a good amount of fuel, and we have a giga wrench.
32.
I think we probably don't. How much health do you guys have? Because I'm only at 30.
52.
112.
Okay.
Oh, bottles.
Oh, nice.
Double.
Double.
All right, we're good. I'm just gonna scan to make sure we're all in. Yeah. Critical stop?
Oh.
What?
Brace.
I can't do anything. Floor 33. Oh shit!
Ooh, damn.
Damn, Salad. You seen this?
Oh,
What?
what the?
No, I don't have a weapon.
An arm.
I got a gun.
Nice. Maybe there's weapons around. This guy doesn't seem too difficult.
Guys! Hit the potatoes.
Wait, what? Hit them? Oh yeah! Oh nice!
Throw 'em.
Yeah! Alright,
Don't
sick.
use bullets.
Yeah, sick.
Gimmick.
Yeah, it's gimmick.
Oops. Oh, shit.
Oh, double tater.
Oh no. I need to lock in.
I missed. I'm with it.
Do these things not respawn? Oh my god. I'm at fucking 2 health. It's fucking Jover.
He's gonna punch them. Fuck it, I'm punching him. Oh my god, that. Ow!
I'm
The
at 2
taters
health.
hurt.
Yeah, they do.
Oh shit.
It's okay.
I mean,
No!
I'm just gonna play it safe. Like, insanely safe.
They got this.
You just whack him with
I'm
my
gonna,
soap.
I'm gonna go grab a snack, chat. I'll be right back. Hopefully I think they.
Wait, is everyone dead? Hello? Oh fuck, I think
Oh, you
everyone's
dead
dead.
this?
Okay. Oh wait, you're not dead. Hilfe! Wait, we can leave? Oh, hi.
Press the thing. Press the thing.
Okay.
6 HP.
I can't, it doesn't work.
Oh, it doesn't?
Nope, it doesn't. It doesn't. Oh, what the fuck?
Oh, Spuds! It got Spuds.
Oh yeah, Spuds. Okay, dude, I have 28 health.
I have 6. Alright, give me Spud. I'm gonna fucking get him.
You sure
Oh my
got him,
god, the
Lapa.
gun is like actual pea shooter. Fucking hell. I thought it would do way more than this shit. It's so over.
This ain't looking good.
No.
Ah!
Dude, if I hadn't died to that fucking
It's like
guy,
only weak to Spuds.
I put him solo HP and then he just fucking shot me in the face.
Oh my god. I just realized. This is the... What do you call it when it's like it's like a saying in certain cultures? What do you call that? An idiom?
Yeah,
You know what I mean, right? It's like...
yeah, I have 12 health.
There's
It's
a
so
saying
over.
in Finland.
I'm not sure how to make it out of this.
Or a saying in Finnish. You gotta fight potatoes
I move.
with
Oh, I see a
potatoes.
Spud. I see a Spud.
See, it's a spuddling and we fight it with potatoes.
But he finished devs, I can't.
Oh, we could ping, can we ping the potato?
Oh, good idea.
Oh, maybe. That's me sat here.
Potato.
Oh my god, it splits up into so many more.
Oh god.
This is like that that Binding of Isaac fight, the kind of like
I'm just healing it with this shit. Okay, I mean, it would be kind of easy to melee these small ones, though. Maybe.
I don't think they spit
Yeah, come
out
here, big boy.
the cooked potatoes anymore when they've been split.
Come on, can you stop moving so much up and down? Okay, that's good. I mean, I'll just try. I think this small. Oh, thank you! Thank you for the spud!
He hit it, but it didn't do anything.
I think it keeps dropping new spuds. I saw one spawn in.
Hitting spuds if you
Oh
see
yeah,
them.
there's here. There's like 2.
Fuck. I mean, yes, thank you, thank you. Huge! Okay.
At least we can help from beyond the grave.
I just think so!
Group. I don't think they're doing early access for R9.
Oh, he's gone.
No.
It's a good try.
Massive plastic cock.
Gave up on the rando? Nope. Just doing something else.
Big.
That was some gimmicks right there.
Yeah.
Does it actually save when it saves? That's what I'm
Oh
wondering.
no.
Oh, I can eat meat.
Oh, what,
Maximum
Santa now?
flashlight charge. Wow.
Wait, you have
Yeah,
Santa?
man. I don't know why I have Santa, but I have Santa.
Oh, you're big Santa.
Oh, ho, ho.
Wow, look at my helmet.
It looks like your IRL.
Ah! Looks like a Bloodborne PC believer. Where's Lepa?
I'm right here.
In the corner.
I don't see him.
Oh, look at his again.
Oh, there.
Dude, I can't believe I died.
Are we anyway singing?
Is it? The thing is, it does save. I couldn't see it like a load feature.
Yeah, maybe you do have to finish it all in one
Yeah,
run.
maybe.
I can't imagine it.
That
I mean,
seems kinda-
we know there's a boss fight on floor 33 now.
Yeah,
Sorry,
true.
we did learn.
There's probably one on 66 as well.
Yeah, probably.
Or 6, 7, you know.
Oh, my
my
god.
God.
Around there. I don't know.
Oh,
No, 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 no. No, 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 no. No, no, no.
not me, it wasn't even me!
No, 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 no.
I wasn't doing anything! I'm innocent.
Is it anyway Sereno?
I'm down.
It could
Or
be.
not. Could be, yeah.
Could be.
I have 1 extra life perk.
Wait, what?
Oh,
Oh,
wow.
shit.
Oh.
Damn. Damn. I want to see if there was like a load. Wait, hold up.
Holding on.
Holding?
I mean, did you check for the load just now after we finished the run?
No, no, I didn't. I didn't see it. Like, I didn't see like a continue option when I went because we started one run yesterday.
Doesn't it go by
Oh,
profile?
were you weren't able to continue from the one yesterday?
Not that I could see. No.
Maybe the hot fix.
Okay.
just wiped
Oh yeah,
out
there
the
was a
saves.
patch. Yeah, maybe the patch wiped it or something. Okay, apparently you could continue in early access, but there was no continue in the menu. I kind of wanted to see. I mean, let's do a floor so it says save.
Okay.
Sure.
Okay, cool, yeah. We don't at least know for next time as well.
Yes. I have double bottles, by the way. Lol.
Oh,
Oh
nice.
my god.
And 20% more health. Wow.
Wow. Dude, the prison is so fucked up.
Yeah.
Why are we only getting prison now? Run into all
The
these
only
boxes.
thing we're good for. Fuel. Give bottle blazer.
I think there's normally something in these rooms. I'm actually surprised there wasn't this time. One bottle. Epic. All right.
Bonk, bonk, bonk.
Bottle?
Yes. Whoa, I got mega speed. What the hell?
Yeah, same. Oh.
Now that is not mega speed. Where's Salad?
I'll go look for him.
I'll come with you in case there's bottles here.
Hmm. Well, they'll be back soon, surely. Bro, what is Salad doing?
Oh, Harry Potter music.
That's not Harry Potter.
Yes, it is. It plays in Harry Potter.
Closing the door.
No, it doesn't.
Okay, we're going to floor 3.
It's like Nutcracker. Oh, it is.
It is. It's Nutcracker, you buffoon.
It's Harry.
Listen,
Okay.
I've watched Harry Potter enough times to know that that ain't Harry Potter.
Yeah, Salad is Harry Potter, okay?
That is that.
He's been to Hogwarts.
I have actually. There is never anything good. I hate that you can use, like, weapons to break boxes. But then the weapon breaks, like, super fucking fast, so... Like, what's the point, really?
What? Hello?
You guys good? There's never anything. I love playing the no loot game. This is great. Oh, a fucking cucumber to fuck myself with. That's great. Doesn't even do anything. Oh.
Rifles here.
Yeah, this is the wait.
I don't know what that is.
Yeah.
I've never seen that.
I have a
Got
shit
speed
ton of
buff.
nails.
We going? Yep.
Yep.
Oh, for fuck!
Who fed it?
Dude.
Who fed it?
Sounds fucking
Yo,
dead.
just
To KLETKA.
test the thing, okay? We will let load save game, then we can start over, okay? This fucking sucks, man. I don't want to fucking play anymore.
There are 25 bottles.
Save the game and we just reset, please.
Oh, it saves. When does it save?
I don't fucking know. You're the host.
I think it's each
There's
floor.
no save.
I'm gonna draw a cock.
I think.
Okay, let's go to next floor.
Yeah, see, it says saving in the top right. Oh, this is cool. Is my game bugged or is nobody saying anything? Oh, for fuck's sake. I can't hear you guys anymore. Oh, Salad's back. Yeah, I can't hear shit. You wanna... I don't know if you guys can hear me, but maybe exit out and see if it saves. There's no sound in space. Oh.
Oh, I couldn't hear you.
Hello?
Oh
my god!
That...
Oh my.
Way too dank. Hello?
Hey.
The fuck?
Hi.
Oh, hi. Okay. Can this hear us?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, alright.
This is like reverse Four Kings.
Yeah.
Okay. Which one of you rats blew me up?
It was... I don't know, who was it?
It was
Who
fucking...
do
Wasn't
you
me.
think it was?
You fucking...
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to.
Wait, another
Watch your
gimmick
back.
here. Another gimmick. Ooh.
Bottles.
Reminds me of Severance.
Right, actually. It is Severance.
Oh my god.
Yo, Camflick, thank you for the 82 months, man.
Oh no.
Wait, who has the bolt weapon?
It's really hard to get trapped now. Mine guy! Mine guy!
Who's got?
What? Oh,
Someone
I
is-
fucking... I'm not doing hot.
Wait, who's
Wait,
that?
there's an electricity guy. Come in. Come in. Let's ditch. Ditch. Is everyone here?
Yeah.
Wait, is this?
Yeah?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Wait,
He's coming
in
with
here
us.
Oh.
Is he friendly? Oh,
Well,
god.
not now.
Did you just shoot?
Did you shoot this? Did you
I
kill
didn't shoot
this?
this! No, unless he walked in front of me.
Oh fuck!
He walked in front of me when I started shooting.
This is a train wreck.
Master.
Absolute train wreck. I'm gonna res him.
Who has the bolt thrower? Someone had it.
There's a res over here. Wait, thunderstorm!
Oh no.
Go next.
I'm sorry, Dis. I didn't mean it.
Okay, Distum, don't worry, buddy. I'm coming to save you. I see a res. Wait, I have 16 bottles, but I'm sure there's some more here. Oh, fuck. I have a rake. Let's go then, bitch. What the fuck? Wait, salad? Oh, it's fake salad. Okay, maybe I can just run. Oh, they're fighting each other. Nice. Come on. How many do I need? 18. I need one more bottle. Yes. Oh, double. Boom.
Thank you.
Heyo. I'm gonna soap the shit out of this guy. That's right.
Nice. I got a shank now.
Hit it. A 3 battery flashlight. Let's go.
I feel like the lockers just aren't really worth looting. Yo.
Oh, hey guys. Sorry, this. I didn't mean it.
That's all good. I was at like 5 health.
Did you run across? Did you run across or like what happened?
I don't know. I think the guy in the elevator might have hit me. I couldn't really tell.
Probably blew up when
Oh.
when someone spawned a grenade in the elevator.
Well, I have a plan with backup, I guess.
Help.
What?
Help.
What?
Come in. Fuck it. Let's leave.
There's still stuff.
Oh, well, I mean, yeah.
I mean, yeah. Oh! Handcuffs.
Oh, handcuffs. Nice.
Honestly, who the fuck drew the penis?
Who do you
Who
think?
do you think?
You're mine now. Can you break? Can you break out of them?
Wait, oh! Wait! Are you naked?
Maybe.
You... Oh my god. Oh my god.
Ow, you hit me! I'm not.
Are you guys good?
Help!
Oh, he threw it. He threw a
Dude,
straight
this
thing
is in a
at me.
fucking gimp suit with a tramp stamp. Do you have a tramp stamp in the back?
What the fuck?
Look at his outfit.
Oh, this guy had some chifa. What the fuck?
I'm chained by the gimp man. I can't do anything.
Yeah, and I know how it feels.
Oh, I'm back. I'm back.
Fuck. Ooh, bottle. Okay.
Holy shit.
He's staring at me menacingly for.
You need any food? Either of you?
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, I think that's everything.
This looks like Ricardo. You see?
Oh yeah, you're
Yeah,
right.
it's like actually the Ricardo outfit, except the head, I guess.
I only lost like 3
bottles.
HP for that.
Times 2?
Nice.
Oh, a Kog.
Take bottle right here.
I guess it's pretty
Oh,
worth
red.
destroying those then.
Got him. Times 2?
Nice. Okay, yeah. That door doesn't seem to do much damage to me either. I only lost like 3 HP punching it.
Maybe have a perk for it.
I don't, maybe it's just because I'm so big.
Oh yeah, true. Yeah, that's true.
Oh yeah.
Did anyone check the right? Oh god.
What is
We're
that?
leaving.
Shaking. Yeah.
Well, I upgraded, so that's why the shake.
Oh.
Overload?
What? I still don't know what overload does.
I don't know. I think it's just random.
Oh, I can't get in.
Get fucked.
Have fun,
Guys, I wanna
Salad.
play.
I fart. I fart.
Nasty boy.
You know, you like it.
What the fuck? No? Bottle? Bottle?
Yeah, got it.
I am closing the door.
Yes, sir. Bro,
You
you.
missed it.
And then
No,
we're
our-
going.
our
past
PB
this
is floor
one.
33.
You haven't even stopped it yet. There you
We
go.
died on the
There's a shop
first
after
boss.
this.
I have 17 bottles. Excuse me. Fuck! I'm too big, I can't get past them.
You're too fucking thick, man. All right.
Just got that grumpy, I don't know.
Can you take on guys? As you're so big.
Ooh, egg. Bro! Oh, chat, my fucking legs. Holy shit, this is so many bottles. I need Ella to come over here. Oh. Oh, more weed. It's a lot of. Oh. Oh. Fuck, man. Dude, these boxes suck ass. Oh. Ammo. No fucking way, dude. I should just turn off. All right. Man, where is everybody? I need Ella. Hello? anybody out there? They're not dead, right? Oh, no fucking shot. I set it to open mic. Well, I have 10 bottles. Shit. 2 of them are dead. Lepa? Lepa?
Oh, I see what happened.
Yeah, they're all dead. Well, I'm gonna grab the bottles.
Except for the guy.
Oh,
Oh,
fuck.
did Ella run into a mine? Oh, what did you do?
Alright, let's... Oh no, I'm gonna fucking die, probably. Oh god. Oh god, my legs. My fucking legs, Lepa. I'm coming. Alright, I got 18 bottles. Wait. Oh, there was a room with like... Oh, whatever. It's fine. I found a room with... Oh, thank you. I found a room with like 10 bottles and I was saving it for Ella, but... It's okay. How many do you have?
5.
5? Okay. Do we have stuff we could sell? I have 18. I don't know if we should go for the team res. 29.
How many
I
you
need
got?
3.
Okay.
Nice. All right, let's do it. Welcome back.
Oh man, you lose the totem perk then.
We can get a new one.
Yeah, that's fine.
Nah, that was
You spoiled my
bullshit.
focus.
I heard something. A thing.
Yeah, I also heard something here.
Mommy? Sorry.
What?
Bottle?
Coming. What? Yep, coming.
Another bottle over here. Oh. Ella, are you over here? Ella? Oh. I can help
Hi.
you. There's a bunch of bottles over here.
Alright, coming.
One right here.
Nice. Times 2. Ooh. Come on. More times 2, please. Times 2. Alright,
Nice.
I got 21 bottles.
Yeah, there's like a perk that gives you double bottles.
There's an electric guy coming up to you now.
Oh shit.
That's a mine. That's another mine. Oh, he's invisible. Well, but I can. What the fuck? Okay, that's fine. I didn't lose much health.
I think he died.
Yeah, he did. He blew himself up.
Oh, okay. I see. Got some enchanted spuds.
Nice.
Or no. Ooh, I got like a 200 damage soap. It's green.
Holy. The soap attacks so fast, dude. It's so nice.
Yeah. Oh, wait, there's a fuel down here. Oh, and a gun in this. You think I can beat this with the soap?
I also have a soap. A good.
Oh, look how
test
much
it.
damage it does.
Oh shit!
Yeah. I'll just hit it one more time. Used a ton of it, but...
Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't have. Oh, discount. It doesn't have a lot of durability, but it just deals a lot of damage.
Yeah. Oh, 10% discount. Interesting.
Are you taking it? Or maybe I should take it.
Do you
because
have
I
a discount
the-
already?
Let me see. I do 5% with the double bottles. Yeah.
Yeah, you could do it. You got the
I mean, I'll
health.
test it. Yeah, I have 33 health now after that, so gotta find some health. I'm gonna go back.
Yeah, same.
I'm so scared of mines.
How many eyeballs? Oh, Salad's
Salad's dead.
Oh, I can eat meat. I forgot about this.
The meat eating perk is actually really nice. So where's the Let Maestro?
Oh, there's some bottles here.
Oh yeah, very nice.
Lepa? Lepa? Where the fuck is Lepa, dude? Lepa? I don't know. Where is he? Oh,
Just doing some
I
workout.
would join you.
Yeah.
I will close the door now.
Okay.
I have a big discount on purchases.
I mean, the res should be cheaper for you too, right?
Yeah, yeah. What the fuck? What was that?
Is that KLETKA?
Where's a res? I need to find a res. Maybe there was one in the beginning.
Oh, the repair kit right there. Oh yeah.
Blow the bottle the other way. There's a bottle here. Come on.
Hey,
Light.
how do I use this repair kit? I gotta do it with KLETKA. Let's see. Oh yeah, here. Wait, item will be repaired for... Oh god.
Hurry! Lepa's coming. He's coming.
Yeah.
I repaired
Right.
that giga soap that I got.
Alright. Oh, hell yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah, you repaired it. Nice. Oh, I need bottles here. Nice. Bottle times 2. Times 2.
I may have let the flies loose.
All good.
Punch them. Punch the flies. They will go away.
Do we just like try to rush the boss again? I mean, we rest obviously, but
We're sort of doing it.
Yeah,
I mean,
we just
we're
need to
at-
make sure
we're-
we have. Well, I got.
I have 22 health, so that's
We
not
don't,
much. But
we don't even need weapons. We just need to be full health going into the fight.
Yes. Yeah.
Because the studs are infinite. As far as
Yeah.
I can tell.
Yo, 10. Yo.
Wait, what?
Behind you, electric eel.
Oh.
What the fuck?
Bro, this guy's gonna fucking kill me. What the fuck? Hello? Bro, what the fuck is that? He's so strong.
Yeah.
God.
It's so over.
My gun didn't do
I was gonna walk
anything. I
out
was
just anyway.
tickling him.
Oh shit.
Yeah, that dude was insanely tanky.
Yeah.
Alright, calm down.
Well, it's gonna be a massacre when Lepa gets back.
Dude, I have no idea what even killed me. Like, I was punching that guy, and was there a mine, like, directly in front of the
Tell
elevator?
anyone.
Ooh.
Ella! Ella?
He doesn't know.
He's clueless.
Yeah.
I didn't even realize it was missed. Shit. I can't see the mine. I know it's somewhere right here.
Is he gonna do a salad? Nah, not when he's this careful.
What the fuck? I am careful. I was just punching that guy and I just fell over. I don't even know how I died.
Ball!
Well, he's about to fuck around and find out.
Yeah. Wait, there's a. You just ran past a med kit.
Oh, he did? Oh, yeah, I see it, yeah.
I can't see. How does it. What the fuck?
Left for a binging hit.
What? What the?
Dude, there's no way he's gonna kill this thing.
What the fuck?
Oh my god.
Like,
Oh,
if this
what a
shot
drop.
it that much,
Yo, that is an MVP traffic cone right there. Shoo! Shoo! Go away! Ow. What is
there's no
what is
way.
even
Yeah, there's
damaging
no
me?
way.
Leopard grab it!
And he's also blocking the oh shit, here he comes.
Better not be
Well,
a dead
dead
end.
end.
No.
God damn it!
He's not coming though, he's fine. Oh, he's coming. He is.
So dead.
He's so dead. It's
This game is too hard, chat.
Oh man!
yeah, not rushing the boss fight.
This game is fucking hard.
That guy was insane. Well, perfect anyways time though.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Thanks for the game.
Thanks for the
Yeah,
game.
thanks, guys.
Back to asylum.
Yeah, back to true. Wow, Sal didn't even say goodbye. Does he?
Yeah, I know.
Salty. Oh, there's this big gimp guy. Look at this. Look at his pecs, man.
Damn!
Holy shit. And look at his tattoo over his ass.
Judge.
God damn.
Have a good one, guys.
Yeah.
You too, man. Have a good one, guys.
Till next time.
Till next.
Dude, there's like a forest stage. I want to get to the forest stage. What is going on? Is this like an Easter egg? Maybe the game just bugged out. Oh, there's no menu. What the hell's going on? Yeah, I think the menu just bugged out. Alright, guys. It was a fun stream. But I think I'm also going to anyways.